And so when you suffer the consequences of poor policy
So
decisions,
market is going down.
eventually you reverse
Do
course.
short
So,
market.
just as I am frustrated and discouraged in one moment by exactly what we're seeing in
Sharing
markets,
your experience.
maybe it's
I
that
thought
economic phone that just kicks in and keeps me from
and
being
every day we
totally
have live
perplexed in
stream
perpetuity.
and discuss.
So, Enda, do you share Stuart's, I guess, enthusiasm that we could get kind of
Stuart's not hiding under his desk right now. Let's just put it like that.
That we'll ultimately get a course correct, that things kind of find their way in the right way? Or I'm curious if you agree, but is it also depending on when that course correct happens? Because a lot of damage can be done to the U.S. economy, the global economy, and the U.S.'s standing in the world the longer this goes on.
Yes, no, I think Stuart has set the table very well there. I mean, for example, this week, Carol, we will have all of these finance officials, economic policymakers from around the world visiting DC, and it's going to be useful for two reasons, to your point. The first is we'll get a temperature check in terms of how much economic damage is being done. How real is the pain for their companies, for their exporters, for the trading partners of the US, and how are they viewing the US as the guardian of the global economy by extension of that. So we're going to get a good temperature check in terms of the perception and US reputation in all of this through the comments we get over the coming days. We'll also obviously get new growth forecasts from the IMF that will put numbers in terms of what damage people see. But then the other part of this week we'll also see how much of this can be undone. To your point, will there be scope for deals? We'll have lots of finance ministers here, and we'll come out and say, yep, we spoke with the US officials, we see a way out of this, and XYZ might come out of it over the coming weeks. That's an optimistic take. Or might we get more fractious comments making the point that, look, there's no easy way out of all of this. Tariffs are easier to put on than take off, and the mood might be more sour at the end of the week than it is beginning. So I think in terms of how this all plays out in the world economy, this week is a pretty unique one given the amount of visitors coming to DC, and I think by the end of it, we'll have a sense both of US reputation and the role in stoking this, and if there's a way out, near term at least.
And what does, you mentioned the potential for deals, and maybe